So, week 23. This one was a pretty good one. First off, Elder Jackson says hi to everyone. So, warm greetings from the one who's going home soon. Not till March though, but yeah. But yeah, this week was pretty good. We had P Day. During P Day, we were in Senatobia for Zone P Day, and we were playing a bunch of games: ping pong, pickleball, even Dose. And people who don't know what Dose is, it's basically Uno's brother. The card game Uno, its brother. Yeah, I really wanted to play that because when I heard it came out, I was like, I want to play it, and finally was able to. That was fun. We did all that and had pizza. That was good. And then after we came back home and finished off a couple things, and then we had dinner at the Morrisons, and then went up to the Beckerdites and taught them a little bit. I think it was some commandments. It's been a while. But Tuesday we had district council. We talked about Christ-like attributes and like ways we can improve and do better type thing. We had studies at the church because might as well. We had to get that done. And then we had dinner at Panda. Not dinner, lunch. Lunch at Panda. Two of the appointments kind of fell through. We tried to see one person. He didn't answer either. But then we were able to see Lynn and actually his mom as well. And we actually taught them both of them the restoration, and that was actually really good. And we were also gonna visit the Beckerdites that night, but that kind of fell through. So we went to Wendy's to kind of finish off a couple things and do some extra contacting. Then we just came home and talked about a lot of the stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty good day overall. Wednesday we had Byhalia. We didn't get out till later though. We were trying to visit someone early, but they weren't answering. And so I was like, I feel like we should go try out this hill. There was like a hill on the road continues like a little hill. I was like, we should go try this person, and just a person up there. And we met this lady who's been confused about a lot of the churches and wanted to know which one's true. So we gave her a restoration pamphlet. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name. What the heck? Then we were able to go back and have the lesson with that person. We tried going early. We helped answer some of her questions. And then we went up to more Center Byhalia, did some extra contacting. Then we had to finish off the commandments. We were finishing off the last bit of commandments, and we were to go in there. At first, it was only modesty there, but then we were outside, kind of me and Elder Jackson kind of waited for a little bit, did some reading of our own stuff, and rapped about church stuff. Make our own little beatbox. Elder Jackson beatboxed. Not beatbox. We did like beats and whatever. We try to freestyle a couple things. It was really fun, but it's a work in progress. But we were able to then finish off the commandments. It was actually quite rough those few days for them, but we were able to get them excited for their baptism, which was supposed to be this Saturday, but things ended up happening, which I'll explain more later. And then Thursday we were supposed to have a lesson with Marilyn and her mom, but when we got there with President Hold, that ended up falling through. They weren't home. We're like, okay. So we decided to visit 2 less actives on the way up, and we were able to we actually go in and we met a brother, a son of Buki, who's a skeleton, and actually, interestingly enough, for the longest time since I've been here, I've only met, besides one who's in South Haven. That was the first time I actually met a skeleton in Holly Springs, which I thought was interesting. I don't know how I've not. Well, of course, everyone tied into, like, I think it all tied into a skeleton. I could be wrong though, but everyone has skeleton blood in them in this branch, except for the ones who moved in from different areas. But yeah, it was really interesting. But then we went up. We took the truck. We visited both Martins. There's 2 sets of Martins in this branch. One lives in Holly Springs. One lives in Lamar. So we visited the one in Holly Springs. Talked with Ray for a while about, like, a lot of stuff. He's smart. He really is. It's pretty cool how he explains things and see what type of output, I guess, you can get from him. And then we went up to visit Pat and Floyd. Talked with them for like a little bit. Actually gave them a blessing. And then we left and visited and had dinner at Mocky's. We were able to talk with them for a while. Then we tried Georgia after, but she wasn't home. But then we just came back home. That was really most of Thursday. Then Friday, it was actually a pretty good day. It was actually, I think, one of my most memorable, really, because we had animal shelter. Of course, we did a couple stuff with that, and some things came up, and that's where pushing off the baptism. Some things came up, and we found out we kind of need to push off the baptism because of a few things that we missed stepwise. So we had to push it off to next Saturday, the 26th, and be able to get those last things put in. So we did all that. We were leaving the shelter, and we got a call from Sister Morrison saying, "Hey, can you get us out? We're stuck in the mud." So we drove back, and their van's kind of stuck in the mud, and so it took us a while, but we were able to finally get it out. And then we just came back home, and then we did some studies, and we're like, let's go find it real quick. And we actually ended up finding 3 people within an hour. That was actually really good. The wife of one person we met at Christmas, we set up a return appointment for that. 2 cool, respectable, the people who respect, some guys were like really cool black guys. We were talking with them for a little bit. One of them's atheist, but he's like, I'm always willing to listen type thing. So we were talking with them about a lot of stuff, and then we went to a referral and actually met the mother, and also found out that the mother of the referral, no, the son of the the one who has the referral lives actually somewhere else in Holly Springs, but we met the mother and we would talk with her. She thought we were pretty cool, so we had her download the Book of Mormon app on her phone, and we were able to set up a return appointment. And then we had interviews for Arian and Liliana, and zone leaders met us up at the Beckerdites, but it was actually just Elder Nelson and Elder Larson, who's actually a district leader in Memphis 2nd. And we went up there, Elder Nelson started doing interviews, and during that time we were talking about a lot of things, about like music and about all that stuff, and then we started singing a couple of songs, and like Spirit was just strong there. You can just feel all the peace from singing the songs, like the prayer. That's a good song. And we sang a couple of other songs, especially My Little Prayer by David Archuleta. And for those who don't know what that song is, here's a little backstory to it, because I didn't know until actually Friday. Earl Larson was telling the story. So apparently David Archuleta was dreaming, and he was singing that song to the heavens. And he's never made this song before, no written it type thing. He was just singing that song in his dream. And then after he finished the song, the Lord's like, write this down. And David Archuleta's like, but I'm asleep, how am I supposed to write it down? Then he wakes up. And he was able to have the tune in his head. He's able to punch it down on the piano, and came out My Little Prayer. I first listened to when I first heard it, it was a while. I can't remember when it was, but the first line that really stuck out to me. We were coming back from somewhere, and this line stuck to me. It was like, sometimes I am afraid, and I know that's lacking faith, but I'm beginning to understand that for me you have a plan. Just that first little part, sometimes I am afraid, and I know that's lacking faith. Just think about it. We can be afraid at times about doing something right, or just doing anything good. Sometimes we can be afraid that it might not go as well, and we may get made fun of, but that's just lacking faith, because when we're doing good things, we should be relying on God, knowing that everything will be okay. And that's a lot of missionary work right there. You go out and do good, and you serve others, you teach them the gospel, and as long as you have faith that the Lord will help you teach that person, it'll happen. I'm still working on it. I'm still afraid a lot of the time about a lot of things. That's just how life is. But I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm becoming better, and I'm building more faith. And that night was just really awesome. It was something I probably won't forget, because it means a lot to me. Just what happened, the conversations that happened with me, Elder Larson, and Modesty. Just all that was just really cool. And then Saturday we had some meeting with one of the stake presidency members. It was us, Senatobia, and Oxford. We all went to Senatobia. Brother Roswell gave us a ride down there. And then we had this meeting breakfast thing, which was really good. And then we went to go have this lesson, but they ended up not being home. Then we came back home and studied for a little. And we had interviews with our mission president, and I told him, I gave my little input about transfers. But one of the things he said, he's like, "So are you ready for something new?" And I was like, but then I told him all that, but you know, I felt like right there is like, I mean, I gave my input, but then he's like, "You ready for something new?" And I'm like, and then people were saying like, yeah, usually when people say that he says that, you're usually gone. I'm just still gonna keep holding on until I find out myself type thing. But then after I finished the branch report, did all that, and then we went to the Beckerdites again and planned out the baptism, got all the stuff ready, and I'm actually going to be singing with Elder Larson and Modesty. We'll be singing Child's Prayer, which is actually going to be exciting. I like that song a lot. And came back home and made guacamole, because the sisters gave us chips, because Sister Siri got like a lot of chips, and then we make guacamole, and I made garlic bread, which was pretty good. Oh, look at that. Vinny kind of shrunk a little. Still not in. There it is. Oh, don't drop the cookies. Yeah, Vinny shrunk a little. But wait, where am I at? I lost it. And we were talking to zone leaders about something else, and just a lot of cool things was going on. And then Sunday we had Mike was ordained a priest, and he was set apart as an elders quorum teacher, which was really awesome. I was really excited for him to be able to see him actually make that step. And we found out the count for church. He had 88 people at church, 3 short from the highest. We were really happy to see all that. 31 was the highest that Elder Billman and Elder Bergerhoff helped accomplish back in July, before I came in, and that was just, we knew we could keep that, so we're just gonna keep trying on inviting people to the church, making sure people get out there type thing. Then Gary, after church, took us up to Lamar because we had to give Sister Hill a blessing. And then after we ate food at Mackey's, and then visited Pat and Floyd for a little bit, and then we came back home. We studied a little, and then Brother Gar, who moved in recently, picked us up for dinner, and we had a lot of fun with dinner there. Then we came home, about to do Collins, and we're like, wait, where's the phone? Turns out we forgot the phone in the car, and so we had to talk to our upstairs neighbor and have us borrow her phone. We got a hold of them, and they're coming. They came back and dropped out the phone. But during the time, we were talking with our upstairs neighbor, and we actually ended up giving her a Book of Mormon, which was pretty finding ideas. Losing your phone in the car. Oh, it's me. Yeah, that was basically it. So, yeah, this week was pretty good. This week, I hope, I'm excited for their baptism this Saturday. It's gonna be awesome. So, yeah. See y'all later. Bye. Oh, come on. Stop.